Well, kia ora whānau, we're here at Turangawaii at Patterson Park, home of my sporting upbringing with rugby league. But I'm proud to say that I'm here with one of the greatest legends, as I was a young fella waking up early hours of the morning watching guys like this play rugby league at the time. Mr. Olsen Filipina, he's a respected league player throughout the league fraternity. But I was just over there listening to some comments that he's brought up, and I just want to say, even though the Kiwis over there, this is what you call the gladiators. Now, why I say that is this guy here was brought up on the 5 metre rule. And when I just started playing rugby league, I played 2 years when the 5 metre rule was just going out. So a lot of league players, these guys over here wouldn't even understand what that is.
That's right.
So simply in a football term, that meant that you had to make fast decisions. And in those days, you were allowed to do head highs. Once the old arm come over the top, your other one starts coming up from underneath. So that's the era that Olsen and them had come through. And interesting, some of your comments, Olsen, that some of these guys wouldn't understand that era in terms of, I think that's probably part of what Order's trying to do, is rebuild them status.
Yep, that's it.
Because interesting, you said that the game of rugby league today is too robotic. I agree totally wholehearted with that, and we've lost that flair. Like how you used to play.
Yeah.
I come into that era when it was just fading out before it became a robotic kind of thing.
That's right. Like I said earlier, the Polynesians, we got our own style of football, and that's been taken. That gets taken away from our players when they go overseas, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, and the game becomes, like you said earlier, robotic, and you more or less know what's going to happen. You know, and everything's on stats.
Yeah.
You know, completed X amount of tackles, 200 metres. You know, it's like, I compare our Polynesian players and our style, the Kiwi style, is like to the Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Freestyle.
Yeah.
That's what we're like.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, that's what our people's all about, is being free.
Yeah.
And we showed that and expressed that on the football field, and that's what these guys need to do.
When I was growing up, and what I understood with rugby league at the time is that there were 13 players on the field, there were 13 opportunities. Today everything runs off a halfback or standoff, which means that everybody else is just born in the game. But as what Olsen's saying is that you're able to, you know, you see an opportunity from whichever position you are, you don't have to run off a standoff, and you take it.
You take it.
You know, and that's what I think that some of our players lose, is the ability of thinking.
That's exactly right.
Thinking for themselves, and as you said, they're too scared, afraid to make mistakes.
The gift, you know, we're born with the gift. We're the best. You know, New Zealand's got the best players in the world, regardless of what sport it is. This is when it comes to physical sport. You know, like, we're built, we're naturally born athletes. You know, and then we start getting involved with the European side of things, and you can't do this, can't eat that food, and you know, it takes. That's when we start losing our freedom of football, our freedom to eat what we want to eat, and our freedom of where we're from. And this is what is good about the Kiwi side. Coming back, you know, we always go back to the grassroots. A lot of these fellas here, you know, don't know what it's like, where their grassroots from, where their parents, grandparents, and ancestors come from. And they all need to learn that and keep it with them in their heart, and play exactly how they feel, not what they're told.
Well, I know you're the type of player that, even though you played for the Kiwis, used to go to work first, go out and do work, then run off after work, run back to training, you know, and start getting into all your training after that. And I think, as you said, that the guys today have everything laid out for them, set out for them, whereas you had to do everything 100% of yourself. And that was even down to the mentality, and that's what I see in the game today, is that mental toughness
Exactly.
that a lot of these players lack, and it's been like that for a number of years now. And I hope that they can build this into the Kiwi side. There can be robotic stuff, as you know. Everything's about minimisation and retaining the ball, but still don't lose that flair, Don't lose that flair and the ability to think for yourself when the opportunity is there.
That's exactly right. And this is what NRL football does to them. You know, it's a lot because of the money, such money, the amount of money they're getting paid these days. They're too scared to do this because, man, that's, you know, they're losing. You're talking about thousands, millions of dollars they use. If they don't play how the coach says, man, you know.
Well, it was interesting what Fred was saying over here before, that you fellas were playing there, and I know from Balmain when you fellas were dropped down into second grade, and the fact was is that you were brought over to do something, you know, and then when you did it, all of a sudden the coaches didn't like it. No. They think, well, hey, that's what you brought me here for. And all of a sudden you find yourself playing second grade, and this is what I think a lot of our players are afraid to do, is to take that opportunity and not be scared to make a stand in your footballing starts. You know, and even if it does cost you the drop, but hey, it maintains you as a player, I think. You know, hey, second grade, you still got picked for the Kiwis, so, you know.
That's a well-known fact. You know, I played reserve grade, come up against Wally Lewis, world's greatest player. No one's ever outplayed him. And, you know, we got him there. I was allowed to play how I wanted to play. And Graham Lowe knew that. A lot of the players in that era, in the 80s and the 85 and all that, did exactly the same.
Well, I watched that test, mate. I watched that test, and I tell you what, I mean, they come out from bloody Otahu or somewhere out of the woodworks and just all of a sudden tame the old Wally, as they say. But that's a classic example which I see is missing in rugby league today. They still do it here because we don't, even though we watch NRL competition, the type of coaching style is still back in the old days, you know, the 80s style. But obviously when you get selected to go elsewhere, people start
things change.
Yeah, things change, you know, and then you can see some of these kids start losing their ability.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, we're entertainers. Like I said, we go back to Globetrotters, you know, and the fans here love it, love that. You know, they don't want to watch it. You know, straight up, backwards, kick, chase, tackle. You know, and this is why New Zealand's, you know, the kids here will never, like, I get asked the question about rugby league. I said it's boring. I said, you want to watch a rugby league, or you want to watch another Jonah Lumley run around, or whoever, Sheik, mate. I said, you fly to New Zealand any time during the winter and go watch a kids game anywhere, you know.
Well, I
see, all over the place.
Yeah. And I see a lot of kids today, they look up to Sonny Bill.
Yeah.
And how Sonny Bill, you know, people are mesmerised how he can offload a ball. And I'll say to guys, I used to play with 13 players, not just in my team, but against too. They used to do that. It was a normality.
Yep.
The point of it is that the skill that these fellas learned at the time. I was playing with the great Rick Murray. You know, I mean, you played with Mark Graham. You know, these are guys that were offloading balls left, right, and centre. Used it just like a toy, Globetrotters, as you say. And that's what I'm saying, is that we don't see enough guys have that ability to be able to understand when they're running, eyeing up the opposition, where's his weakness, you know, and how to actually sort of get his body in between that gap and to either offload the ball, if not, just retain it. You know, and that's the intuition of a player, to be able to hold that and to retain his ability to be able to understand that particular moment. You know, it mightn't come off then, it might come off next time, but this is what I see that in rugby league, and not just in NRL. We're sort of doing it at this level too here in the Waikato and out through New Zealand. But
that's why I was talking to Nigel Varden about, talking to people like you, and the fans know more or less. You know, you go back to politics, the fans know more about the game. Than who they got in charge of New Zealand Rugby League or whatever. I can never understand why they don't listen to it.
I think we should just develop our own product. If the kids get selected from here to go over there, well, then they can develop after that. But, you know, still maintain what we've got here, you know.
Exactly.
But, hey, I'm awesome. Grateful to talk to you and interview you, Olsen. It's been many years, and it's been awesome as a childhood hero to watch you on TV and to see you in person here today, and also giving back to the Kiwis and your role here. So, ngā mihi koutou whānau, the legend himself, the gladiator, as I say. Gladiator, there's old Kevin Tamari over there, and Akoi there, and all of these guys. That's what these guys are over there, the new Porsches out there training now. Need stuff like this. Mauri ora whānau. Thanks.